Hello, it's me, Mrs. Jackie again. So I hope that you've had so much fun all of this month doing the fun activities we pulled together for you. If not, that's okay too. But if you've gotten to do some of it, I'm so happy. We are working so hard to make some new ones for this month. The next month is going to be November. This month was October. Next month is November. This month we had lots of fun stuff. It was the beginning of fall. Well, September, end of September, beginning of October is the beginning of fall. Our month, our seasons. It starts to get nice and cool out, not too hot like the summer, and things like that. So we really like October for that. And the other fun thing that happens in October is Halloween. Halloween this year might be a little bit different for you. It's different for everybody. I think my neighborhood, they're allowing our kids to go trick-or-treating. But if they're not allowing you to do that, I hope you have some fun plans ready for Halloween on Saturday. And that you're going to be dressed up in something fun, because that is the funnest part of Halloween, besides all the candy, is that you get to dress up as whatever you want. Your favorite character, your favorite hero, your favorite everything. Anything you want to be, you can be. Or you could be silly. If you want to be a monkey, that would be fun. If you want to be a superhero, that would be cool. If you want to be a unicorn, that would be so pretty. If you want to be a princess, that would be so cool. So anyway, I hope that you're going to have a fun, super fun Halloween, and I hope you get lots of candy. So, like I said, we're working super hard to get some activities for you for November, but one of the activities that we had you do this month was making a puppet. I don't know if you got a chance to do that yet, but the puppet was Curious George. I'm not sure if you've ever heard a Curious George story before, but we're going to listen to one today. Miss Jackie's going to read you one today. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And the Curious George was one of my very favorite characters when I was little, because he was just so fun and was always willing to get out and have a good time and have lots of adventures. Unfortunately, his friend, the man with the yellow hat that used to take care of him, always had to figure it out and fix it, but that's okay, because Curious George never meant to do any harm. So anyway, we're going to read a story about Curious George today. We're also it's going to be about Curious George and Halloween. So this is Curious George Goes to a Costume Party. This is George. He was a good little monkey and always very curious. One day, George and his friend, the man with the yellow hat, were on their way to a party at Mrs. Gray's house. That's Mrs. Gray's house. George could not wait. He liked parties and he was looking forward to seeing Mrs. Gray. But when the door opened, George did not see Mrs. Gray at all. He saw a witch. It scared George very much. See? Don't be afraid, George, said the man with the yellow hat. This witch is our friend. The witch took off her mask. It was Mrs. Gray after all. Oh dear, she said. Did I forget to tell you this was a costume party? George had never been to a costume party before. Inside, he saw more people that he knew. They were all wearing costumes. There was his friend Betsy, dressed up like an astronaut. And was that Bill? Why, he looked like a mummy. See? George wanted to wear a costume too. I have some dress-up clothes upstairs, said Mrs. Gray. Would you like to use them to make a costume? Oh, that was so nice of Mrs. Gray to share her dress-up clothes for George. Let's see what he picks out. Mrs. Gray took George to a room with a big trunk filled with clothes. "Borrow anything you like, George," she said. "I have just the thing for your friend downstairs." George tried lots of costumes. The first was too big. The next was too small. Another just too silly. And then this one was too scary. So here's the one that was too big. This one was too small. This one was kind of silly. That one was too scary. At last, George found a costume that was just right. George was a rodeo cowboy. He wore a vest and pants with fringe, even had a lasso hat. If only he could see himself in the mirror. George was curious. Uh-oh, that always gets George in trouble. Could he see himself if he stood up on the bed? No, he needed to jump higher. George bounced on the bed just a little, but he couldn't see. So that's him dressed as a rodeo cowboy. And that's him trying to see himself in the mirror. I don't know. Let's hope he doesn't get himself into trouble just trying to see himself. He bounced a little more, and soon George was having so much fun he forgot all about looking in the mirror. He bounced as high as he could until... Uh-oh. Jumping on the bed is probably never a good idea, even if it sounds fun. Crash! George bounced off the bed. He smashed into the night table, got tangled up in the tablecloth. Suddenly, everything went dark. George heard the people downstairs gasp. What was that? Was that a ghost? A ghost? George did not want to meet up with a ghost alone. He dashed out of the room and down the hall. He wanted to get back to his friend in a hurry, and he knew the fastest way. He hopped onto the stair rail and sailed whoosh down the stairs. "It is a ghost!" someone screamed. Everyone turned. They looked scared, and they were looking at George. The ghost must be right behind him. Here he goes down the stairs. He does look like a ghost to me.
50-50 grind.
George flew off the rail and landed plop in the arms of the farmer. But this wasn't really a farmer. It was his friend, the man with the yellow hat. Soon everyone stopped, looking scared, and started to laugh. "That wasn't a ghost. That's a cowboy," laughed the policeman. "That's not a cowboy. That's a monkey," giggled a princess. "That's not just any monkey," said Betsy. "It's Curious George." Everyone clapped and cheered. They liked George's Halloween trick. He didn't even mean to do that, but he did, and everybody thought it was so funny. "You gave us a good scare, George," said Mrs. Gray, "and I'm glad to see you found some interesting costumes. Now, why don't I take your ghost outfit so you can join the party?" After the guests bobbed for apples, little jack-o'-lanterns, and he played some party games. Lit jack-o'-lanterns and played some party games. Prizes for best costumes were handed out. Look at all the fun things they did at the party. There was one prize for Betsy, and one for Bill, and two for Curious George. "You were the best ghost and the best cowboy, George," said Mrs. Gray. Oh, how fun. He got two prizes because he was two different things. Everyone had such a good time at the party, especially George. Too soon, it was time to say goodbye. Good night, George, and happy Halloween. How fun. So I hope that you guys get to have so much fun on Halloween as well, and that you dress up as your favorite thing. And I can't wait to hear all about it. I hope that you are having a good time, even though we're in quarantine. I'm missing having my guys in my class, and I can't wait until we can do that again. I'm going to send you some more stories soon. See you soon. Happy Halloween.